Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This is Maro. So today is my second video in a series. As you may very well know, World of Warships announced that some of the ships will be taken out of the store by the end of the year. And I did a video on Thunderer just looking at some of the numbers to see if they back up what World of Warships was saying in their press release. And that had to do with how prevalent the ship was and how battle effective it was. So you can see that video here. So today I want to do the same thing but with Georgia. I have a video that I posted recently on Georgia, just a gameplay video, and you can see it here. This video is going to be more about just looking at the stats on the server, the maple syrup stats, to see how many players are playing Georgia, how many battles they have in her, how does that compare to other tier 9 battleships, and that would be to just have a better sense of how popular the ship is. And then in terms of battle effectiveness, it would have to do with the win ratio and the average damage. And I will look at all of these stats for North America, and then I will also aggregate them on global basis. So here we go with North America first. Georgia comes in second, just behind Iowa. Almost 18,000 players have played her on the North American server during the third quarter. And in the top five, three are the premium ships. But in terms of battles played, the story is the same. Georgia is still second with around 311,000 battles. And the top five are the same, really, except Pommern moves into the fourth place and Jean Bart goes down to the fifth spot. So I think these two facts clearly support World of Warships' stance that this is a very popular ship that's widely used, and the fact that it comes in second just after Iowa on the North American server, I guess, is clearly evidence of that. Now, moving on and looking on the global basis just to see if the ship is popular as well, here are the global stats. So globally, Georgia actually moves to the first spot with 73,000 players that have played her during the third quarter, ahead of Friedrich de Grosse, Jean Bart, Iowa, and Musashi. So clearly, she remains popular in other regions as well. Battles played even more support the fact that the ship is very popular, with almost 1.7 million played games, way ahead of Friedrich de Grosse. Clearly a star. So, with these stats in the background, I guess it's very fair to say that a World of Warships is very right. This ship is very popular. A lot of players had a chance to obtain her because all you needed was call, and either her results or the fun factor was there for the players to continue to actively use the ship in the battles. Now, my own personal experience has been somewhat different, and if you see the video that I mentioned earlier, I think I go a little more into it. But clearly, I've come around, and I can see what her appeal is and why so many players enjoy having her. So, if you have not had a chance to obtain Georgia so far, in terms of popularity, the numbers would clearly support the purchasing decision. Now, I'm going to take a look at her battle effectiveness, and I'm going to start with the win percentage and the average battle damage on the North American server, and then I will move on to the global aggregate numbers. So here we go. So Georgia has the fifth highest win percentage. Musashi leads the pack with Jean Bart and Missouri, and then Baye, which I believe is also a premium Pan-Asian ship, which should be somewhat close to a copy of Izumo. And it's interesting to see that the ship is doing so much better than Izumo proper. I guess it speaks to the subset of players that have her. But nevertheless, Georgia in the fifth spot with 52.6%. It's a good win percentage, and keeping in the consideration the amount of players and how many battles are played with her, clearly, makes even an average player do well enough in her. The average damage numbers also support her good performance. She comes in fourth at 78,000. Musashi and Jean Bart clearly lead the pack, but 78 is a pretty solid outcome. Global win percentage also matches the North American server. Georgia comes in fifth place, and things don't really change much either when it comes to average damage levels. So there you have it. Georgia, the most played ship in aggregate globally for the third quarter. And in terms of performance, battle performance, she does pretty well, either fourth or fifth, depending on how you do the calculation. Which, when you think about it's out of 13 battleships, it's not a bad result, especially given how many players are playing her. But I think what this does is it really confirms the concept that the coal ships have been very good ships. I mean, just looking at tier 9, we have Musashi, Jean Bart, and Georgia pretty much topping the charts. They were all premium ships that were available to players just using coal. And in this game, it's you know not too difficult to get coal. It certainly is a lot easier than getting steel or research points. And I think it's a good way to reward players. And the ships that the players got were worth the call. So what will replace Georgia? I think the jury's out on that. Will it be as successful as the previous coal ships? Again, that's unknown. Um, those are some pretty big shoes to fill. You had Musashi, was taken out. Even prior to that, you had Missouri, you had Jean Bart. I mean, all of these ships, very good ships. Now, will the ship that follows Georgia be as good? I certainly hope so. Because if you actively play the game, you always pick the resource container. The minimum that you will get if you're able to collect 3 containers is 1,200 coal per day. And what does that mean? That means 36,000 coal a month. And that means 400 and what, 32,000 a year. Now, it's probably too much to expect that all of us have that much time, that much patience, and we can really play the game every day. But then again, sometimes you get more than just 400 call. You may get 800 or 1200 call. So if you think about it, it's probably realistic that during the year you may be able to get maybe around 300 to even 400,000 call. And with the coupons that the World of Warships gives, it's twice a year, which allows you to get the ships for resources at a 25% discount. That means that the higher level ships that are 240,000 call, let's say, you're able to get them for 180. So that almost makes it seem like you can get 2 high tier call ships a year. So I think it's important for World of Warships to continue to come up with ships, call ships, that are good ships, that are fun to play, and that players enjoy. And I think also it's not necessarily bad to take the ships out of the game. I mean, we can still see Jean Bart is played very widely, as is Musashi to some degree, and it allows new ships to enter the game. And I guess from World of Warships perspective, if these ships make it into the New Year containers, it encourages people that are new to the game and don't have the ships to be able to win them. So is it a win-win? Uh, I guess so. Um, I think it's worth doing. And just looking at the numbers, definitely Georgia is very popular, and I think it also makes sense to maybe diversify somewhat the game. because when you have the same ships that you're kind of playing against all the time, it does get a little repetitive. So change of pace is a plus. So to go back here to the game, the team is winning. I really kind of just wanted to play this game and get some footage showing Georgia in action. But given how many people already have the ship and are playing the ship, I'm sure it's not really bringing anything new. But, higher level guns, even if it's only six, good secondaries, speed that allows for repositioning, ability to play the ship on the flank remains kind of an eternal strength of the ship. And as you think of Georgia and the previous coal ships, right, Jean Bart and Musashi, they all have somewhat different play style to them, which is good to have that diversity as well. It seems that World of Warships is obviously always looking for new ships and lines to introduce to the game to keep the players occupied. Uh, you know, you need content, you need something for players to have a reason to come back or keep coming back. So I'm glad that the call ships so far have also been different in the playstyle, and not all of them are a success, right? Somebody can think of certain either maybe Japanese cruisers or so on that people were not as impressed. But I think as far as the higher tier battleships are concerned, it's been a good track record. So let's hope it continues. As far as this game is concerned, it's almost over, so I'm not really going to kind of let it play all the way to the end. It's really more of just mopping up action, and that's it for me. I wish you best of luck on the high seas. If you already have not gotten Georgia, I think you should seriously consider it. She has a lot of things going for her, and best of luck. Maro out.